recording and over to you.
Yeah, shall we start? All right. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Welcome to the 363rd meeting of the Speakers and Toastmasters Club. We are delighted to share this experience with you. And I am Toastmaster Rohit, your sergeant at arms for today. A quick note before we get started. So this meeting will be recorded as some moments of this might be used for promotional purposes later on. So just a heads up on that. And to ensure that everyone has a pleasant experience, let's set some ground rules for today. Something like if you're not speaking, please keep yourself on mute. It helps keep the audio clear for everyone. If you're not moving around or stepping away, kindly turn off your camera. And when you are settled, we'd love to see your smiling face again. On the topics, let's keep our discussions inclusive and avoid diving into some sensitive areas like religion, sex, and politics. And I would encourage all of you to stay present and engaged. A warm smile or a virtual clap or a thumbs up using Zoom reactions can make a world of difference to your speakers. As we all know that every Toastmaster meeting has a heart, and ours is the mission to create a nurturing environment where each one of us can hone our leadership and communication skills, fostering self-confidence and personal growth. With that, let me hand over to our presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, Rohit for introducing me. Am I audible and clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, and a very good morning to Toastmasters and lovely guest. So today being 25th of February, and it's a golden start of the day, and it is important for many reasons, which we will come later. So as a presiding officer, I open the meeting number 363. Open. Please give a big round of applause. So for those speakers and guests who are coming for the first time, I will give you a brief introduction is what is Toastmasters and why it has become so crazy joining every Sunday between 11 to 1 p.m. So Toastmaster International is founded by Ramses Smedley in 1924, and the audience will tell me where is the place that held the first meeting.
California.
Anyone? Yeah, that's the right answer. That's the YMCA Santos, California. Give a big round of applause to a speaker, TMD sir. And and currently the member exceeds 3,57,000 in more than 16,600 clubs across 143 countries of the world. And our own club, that is Speaker Day, which was founded on 25th September 2012. So as we join for Toastmaster for public speaking, we get two additional benefits. First one is leadership, and the second one is networking. As we become the member of the Toastmasters, you can give speeches, take up the roles, not only within the club but across the globe. So I would also like to open the meeting for guests as well, and I and everyone knows something about guest. So starting from the guest, Tamil Saran, can you introduce yourself to the club?
Hi, Venkatesh. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Saravasan, and I have been guest speakers time for like 3 sessions. So this is my third session today. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Give a big round of applause to Tamil Saran. Welcome to Speakers Day. Now moving forward to our second guest, Neha. Can you introduce yourself to the club?
Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning. So I'm Neha and I'm from India. Currently, I'm based out in Saudi Arabia, and I got this opportunity to join this club due to Arun and Arun, of course. So I'm looking forward to enhance my leadership skill as well as the speaking skill in the forum, and obviously the presentation skills as well. So looking forward to continue with this Toastmaster club, and all the best to everyone, including me.
Thank you, Neha. We all wish to fulfill your ambitions. Give a big round of applause to Neha. Welcome to our Speakers Day. Now, our third guest, Jitendra.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jitendra based at Gurgaon. I had an experience of 28 years in corporate. My last job was VP Sales and Marketing. I just taken a sabbatical and want to explore myself into a different way. This is my second session. So in last almost 1 year, I done a lot of things and I published 2 books also. And I just want to continue a journey with a sort of again giving back to society in terms of my values and taking and learning action as a part of way forward. So thank you for this conversation, and I just appreciate the energy of everyone. So all the best.
Thank you, Jitendra. Please give a big round of applause to Jitendra. Welcome to Speakers Day. And now moving next to our new guest, Aswell Joshua. Please introduce to the club.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Ashwell here, based out of Bangalore. I am currently working at Society General as an engineering manager, right? I have about 15 years of experience in total. Much of it, all of it rather, is in the banking industry, but on the technology side of things. I'm here to, improve on my public speaking because I'm a nervous speaker. And also, learn a bit of, the presentation, storytelling, and all these things. So I got this opportunity through Arun, and he's, part of the cohort that I am also in. So I'm looking forward to, contributing and learning from you all. And thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Please give a big round of applause to Aswell Joshua. Welcome to our Speaker Day. Now,
Thank you.
moving forward, apart from networking and continuous learning, one thing we do in a Speaker Day is to break the fear from public speaking. What will happen if I fail? Or what people will think of me? Like, so if you have to remove this unfavorable condition from your mind, we constantly push our members to fail. It's okay to fail, don't feel shy. And through that, you have to speak in every meeting. So as audience, we do something big clap. How you can clap in virtual environment? Either you can switch on your videos or you can use emojis. So every meeting has a theme. So today we have a special theme known as the joy of the spring, which is delivered by our our very beautiful Toastmasters, and and she's she is brought up in Odisha and currently working in consulting firm and likes to play badminton, watch Netflix, and also read books. So please give a big round of applause to welcome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Prajna.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Hi, everyone. Good morning. All right. So before I start with the theme of the day, I would like to share a picture with you and ask you a question. All right. I hope you can see my screen. All right. Now that the picture is on your screen, share with us or tell me what is the first thought that comes to your mind when you see this picture.
Garden, botanical garden, a beautiful scenery,
Okay.
a romantic place.
What a sunny day.
Okay.
Peaceful.
That's all right. Peaceful. Any more?
Different flowers have different fragrance.
Amazing. Any other responses?
Spring to make this beautiful garden, of course, you have to invest so much in terms of your time, nurturing
Okay.
and all these things.
Okay. Wow.
And this may be like a dream backyard of the dream house.
Yeah, even
This
mine.
is completely the backyard of my dream house.
That's why you see in my background as well, I have put something similar.
All dream of that garden one day, backyard garden. Totally agree. Yes. Any more responses?
Amazing place to do our morning walks and joggings, etc.
Wow. All right. So many great responses. And it's so funny, how one image can evoke so many varied emotions, thoughts. When I am seeing this picture, like I see a burst of myriad colors, blooming flowers, sun is shining so bright. It's such a bright and beautiful day. And as Toastmaster Vishal said, it's a perfect time where you want to be out there, where you want to enjoy with your friends, family, and just have a great day out. It seems as if the life is at its full prime when I look at this picture. So that's the beauty of springtime. you know Spring is all about the new beginnings, transformations. It's a season that symbolizes the starting fresh, starting over. You must have heard this term like winter blues. Just like Monday blues, every working professional can relate to it. But with the arrival of spring, you will notice that your surrounding is changing. It seems as if the entire nature is undergoing some kind of rejuvenation, renewal, and you'll start to see that the trees are budding, flowers are blooming. So many beautiful pictures that you're going to see. And even most of the studies, even the scientific studies have also said that the seasonal fluctuations can actually affect your cognitive outlook on life. There's a positive psychological or transformation that happens during the spring, or whenever it's winter, you will feel it's called a seasonal depression or something like that of sort. But with different seasons invoke different outlook or different emotions or different mental condition, like mental health. So now moving on, now spring is also called as a nature's therapeutic touch. Recently came across an article where it was talking about a Japanese practice which is called Shirin Yoku, or forest bathing. Um, it actually emphasizes the therapeutic effects that that you experience while you spend some time amidst trees, or or just in nature. So just even a simple walk in the park, it kind of triggers some kind of happy hormones, or it suppresses the sad this the cortisol levels, that is called a stress hormone, and thus it improves your mood, reduces a feeling of anxiety. So many emotions, or so many positive um, outlooks that is associated with the spring. Next, spring is also the time when you are able to spend so much time with nature, because the temperature is completely set right. It's not too cold, it's not too hot, and it's like a perfect blend of the time where you want to be out, you want to do more physical activities, you want to spend more time in nature. With this, I'm able to recollect a very interesting story that I want to share with all of you. And after that, I would also like to hear what is your memorable, um, moment that you have experienced during your springtime. So, as you would know, that in India, in spring, we celebrate Holi, right? So, growing up as a kid, I was a very studious student. Like during my school days, I would be all day in the house studying. I was absolutely a homeward. I still am, but I was more at that time. I will hardly step out to play, to spend time outside. But come Holi, I would go all wild. I will be out there with my bunch of friends, smearing colors on everyone's faces, and I'll be so engrossed in that moment of fun that it would literally take a week for that entire colors to wear off. And the next day, I would be walking like a colorful clown into the school. I mean, everybody would be laughing at me, and and it's not just me. I think all of my friends would also look some red, green color human beings. And that's how we remember the springtime, okay, March. But also the weird part is during those times, in the school, the way academics has been has been scheduled or has been planned out in India is that we have our final exams during that time. So, you feel that sense of, oh, I want to spend all my time outside and then I have to study for my exam. Such a tussle between having fun and then having to study. So that was my experience or my memory of the spring growing up as a child. I would really want to know what are all your memorable experiences or moments. Might have spent some time with your friends, with your family, or may have gone out to a trip. So I've opened the floor for everyone to give this to share their thoughts.
Last year around this time, I visited Ooty, and there was this lovely resort called Sherlock. It had a, it's pretty similar to the picture that you've shown. It has a huge lawn, and I had so much time walking on the lawn. Like you mentioned, right? When you walk, on the grass, it feels cold, but yet it relieves you in some sort of strange way. Yeah, I mean that was soothing. So yeah, that was a memory, and I'm planning to go back to the same place, coming weekend as well. Yeah, so that speaks about how good it has been there. Yeah.
See how beautiful
Uh,
experiences keep you bonded to that place or draws you again. Yes,
Yes, yes,
sorry.
I absolutely love that kind.
One I can say that this flower show in I think in Lal Bagh. So that was my memory things. It was a very beautiful vibes where I saw where when I'm sleeping or it was in the dream, the flower was coming in my mind. So that is my memorable thing. That is
So good to hear that.
Yeah, I
Anyone
mean,
else?
yeah, and I also attended the flower show in Lalbagh. Not this year, I couldn't go. I missed that by a few days. Like I came to a little late. But a few years back, I attended like the session with my family. It was really beautiful. Too many varieties of I mean, like a lot of different types of flowers coming from different places. Right, it's really awesome to see. Really soothing. I mean, like great time to enjoy there. Like wonderful time.
Wow, that makes me think I have never visited Lal Bagh. I'm definitely going to go there some point. Thank you for Thank you for sharing that.
So for me, since childhood, of course, the spring was always a special for me. So since childhood, if I relate a spring, if hear a spring, the first thing is the celebration of Saraswati Puja, when you go with all the colors and the vibes, and then it goes to Holi and so on. So this is the childhood memory, and from during last 5 years, I think every spring was very special for me. So my child got birth in a spring, so it was again a very beautiful, all the, as people are sharing that visiting the flower garden. And also I was in Pune and I got my maternity shoot there in the colorful vibes of all the flowers. So that was one part. And obviously it is always lovely to see the nature, especially during the springs, that everything is green around. So a couple of memories are related to Dubai. That is then your Mahabaleshwar and all these are, I think most of my vacations are a spring only. So that really fascinates me when I hear the word and I feel that.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Neha. Jitendra, I see your hand raised. Would you like to go next?
Yeah. So in my view, spring is something which gives first of all the impact of the change and follow the transformation, because these two things are there in the spring part as a part of the nature also. And thirdly, it is going to give a very soothing effect, as you see the picture also, it's like a happiness part. So like if you are happy, if you're ready for change, if you're ready for transformation, I think this is the best way to go ahead in the life also, in the way you proceed also. And this is something which is a moment where your body temperature, your entire thing is also very comfortable, because it's a time where things are in the right way of your path. So I must say this is one of the best season. And of course, Holi is very important for everyone. So it's again a part of Holi. Holi gives something a part again a change. So like spring is a part of a change and transformation as well.
Wow, that was very insightful, the way you put it. it's a perfect season as well as perfect time to get started with something that you want to get started with any project. You will be at the perfect state of energy. Yes, Toastmaster Vishali wanted to say if you would
Yeah.
like to share your thoughts.
Sure, Pragya. So I've been to Odisha very recently for something called Eco Retreat, with the government of Odisha organizes, and that Eco Retreat happens across multiple places. So I went to Satkosia, and the experience was real. It was sea beach and spring season, and everything was fantastic about that event. It was something amazing. The luxury tents which are temporarily set up for people to experience it, something I've never imagined, experienced in India, outside India as well. So it was something like the Odisha's tagline is what India's best kept secret, and they are kind of exposing that secret with time, and that was something amazing about the timing of spring and that eco retreat.
I come from Odisha. I belong to Odisha, and I have heard about it, eco retreat, but I am guilty of saying that I have never been there again, just like Lalbagh. But yeah, definitely something. Now that you have mentioned, it's going to be on my bucket list. Yes, Toastmaster Venkatesh, you would like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I have two incident during spring times, and during March it also the time of mango showers, and during my childhood days when the storms gather around 12 at night or one night and or one at night, my friends used to go to the nearby garden, and we have the competition who will collect more of the mangoes at the last. And the second incident, when I visited the Lalbagh for the first times, I see the beautiful flowers, and it was the first time during my whole lifetime. And the second thing I noticed that very small tree, and the age was written like 100 years old, 80 years, and the tree was very small. That fascinates me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh. I think Lal Bagh is the trending spot for the springtime. All right. With that, let me invite Tamilasan. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it rightly.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. What would you come again with your what is
You can
pronunciation of
call me Tamil. Yeah, you can call me
Tamil?
Tamil.
Tamil. Okay. All right, Tamil. Would you like to share your experience of the
Yeah,
springtime?
my thought is like we have this pinkish purple flowers right at this time, particularly at this time in Bangalore. So I have never seen that before, and I love this time actually. So the entire Bangalore is colorful now, and my kids they love to play with those flowers which are fallen. So they will collect it and they will play with that. And all the time there's a park nearby, so they will be looking up to those flowers, beautiful flowers. It's all good actually. And as Venkatesh said, this is the season of mangoes, which we wait for the entire year. And now we get the mangoes. I love it.
With what you mentioned about your kids, even sometimes I find myself hooked looking at the blue sky for hours, for for
No,
hours
yeah, not the
together,
blue
maybe.
sky. Yeah, those purple flowers, purple or pinkish
Oh,
flowers, which we get at this time in
cherry
Bangalore.
blossom, you mean?
Yeah, so those flowers, right? We never saw that actually. We don't see those flowers in our place. So those fallen flowers will be there, right? So kids will collect those flowers. My kids will collect those flowers. They will keep it in hand. They will bring it to home. And there are many trees nearby my place. So kids would be looking up when we walk in the streets, right? So they will be looking up to those flowers, and then they will enjoy that.
Wow. Wow, Tamil, they are definitely making memories for you and for themselves as well.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Tamil, for sharing
Thank
your
you.
thoughts. Yeah. Vibhuti, would you like to share? I see your hand raised.
Yeah. So I got very nostalgic when you mentioned that during this time we also had exams, and that fever would be there, and along with that festivities would also be there. So what I can recall from all the spring seasons of my school days is actually focusing my entire energy in finishing the syllabuses and in giving mock tests and in giving so many tests. And there would be some days like Saraswati Puja or like during the first few weeks of April, we also have different New Year's being celebrated. So those were 2 3 days where we were like, okay, it's a festival, we don't have to study. So yeah, that made me very nostalgic. So thank you for mentioning that part.
Absolutely. I totally understand the 2 to 3 days break from study. I would crave for that. All right. Ram, I see your hand raised. Would you like to share your thoughts?
Yes, yes, thank you. Yeah, I would like to share. So when you say, when I hear the term spring, these things come into my mind. During childhood days, we used to go to our grandma's home, and my cousins also used to come during the summer holidays. Basically, we used to play a lot, and in the family, they used to make various kinds of ice creams and dishes. That was quite memorable. Those were quite memorable days. So that's one thing. And also, just as Vibhuti mentioned, the New Year comes, the Telugu New Year also comes during the same season. So that is a quite memorable festival. We make a pickle with various flowers, various tastes basically, uh, uh, from neem, from we, what to say, club all the six or so different tastes. Okay, uh, like neem, tamarind, mango, jaggery, all that. That is quite tasty. And yeah, so like someone has mentioned, and yeah, you mentioned like in the spring, if we start something, most probably that will be auspicious. It is a very good time for the transformation, all that. Yeah, I think that is true. Few years back, I went to Sydney during the March, and that entire stint was very successful, and that was quite positive. Yeah, also during that tenure in the Sydney, we visited the Canberra flower show in Canberra. That was a very big garden and all kinds of flowers, tulips, all that. That was quite wonderful. And yeah, I used to go for a walk in the, I mean, a very big park, and that's also a kind of a national garden. Every day I used to go for walk. That's a very positive experience. Yeah, definitely going for walk in the parks in the spring season definitely uplifts our mood. Definitely gives us transformation. Yeah, these are the things.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ram, for sharing that. It's so refreshing to hear all of your stories. And Ram, that you mentioned, as you mentioned, it's actually also a season where you will find it's a harvest season. Also, it is said for a lot of regions they celebrate
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Lohri and so many different festivals that is celebrated during this time. So but above on all, I would say it was so refreshing to hear all of your stories, beautiful spring stories. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing that. All right. With that, we will actually move ahead with the proceedings of the meeting. We will continue speaking more on this theme, but let me move ahead with the agenda of the meeting today. So I would like to explain. So I'll just start with explaining how the Toastmaster session is conducted. So any Toastmaster meeting is actually divided into three parts. The first part is the prepared speech, where the members are in advance. They prepare for a speech for 5 to 7 minutes, and we have an evaluator who evaluates them. The second part is a fun-filled table topic session where anyone in the audience who can come up to give 1 to 2 minutes of speech on a table topic that is given by a table topic master. And the third part, which is the most important section, where our general evaluator of the day gives a report on the entire meeting of the day. However, today is a special day. We will not have the table topic segment today per se, but we are going to have a new segment that is not a new segment, but different thing today. That is the moment of truth session. where we would like to hear your thoughts and we would like to gather your feedback on how can we improve ourselves as a club. What are the good things, bad things, or the areas of opportunities that you would like us to focus on, so that we as speakers and toastmaster uh, reach the elevate ourselves to the next level, or maybe sky is the limit for would be the limit for us. So all right, with that, having said that, I would like to invite all right, sorry, before saying that, I will first stop sharing my screen and then we will start with the formal proceeding of the meeting. So with that, I would like to invite on Toastmaster Shankya as the general evaluator of the day. So, and let me introduce you to him. So, Toastmaster Shankya has been making robots, he works in finance. He has been working in finance for 18 years, turning dull into cool. He tells stories so well that even boring numbers sheets want to laugh. And when he's not playing with robots or making people laugh, he is chowing down on his favorite dish, biryani, which is my favorite also. He is a numbers guy who knows how to mix fun, work, and good meat. So over to you, Toastmaster Shankya. I will hand it over.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pragya. And now we'll come on to the segment of the general evaluator. Now, as the general evaluator, my role is to observe very, very carefully the entire meeting procedures. What went well, what could have been improved, what could have been worked on as well. Now, to do that, I have a team of two musketeers, popularly known as the tag team, and we have the timer at the our counter today. So let me see what they have, their roles they are playing. So with that, let me invite the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Arun. Toastmaster Arun, if you can brief about your role as a timer.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So as timer, I'll be time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of their time they have left using the green, yellow, and red card, which will denote specific times remaining. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. There will be 30 seconds buffer timing for which no additional cards will be displayed. So today, though table topics are not there, but still I'll just give the information about table topics. The table topic speech should be between 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. In this case, 30 seconds buffer time will be given for which no additional card will be displayed. Thank you, Sankhya. Over to you.
Also, can you show the cards as well?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. So this will be green card. This will be the yellow card. This will be the red card. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arun. Timing plays a very, very big role in everybody's life. And in Toastmasters, timing plays a very crucial role because the green card symbolizes that minimum, that amount you have to speak. Less than that, your speech will be disqualified. And the maximum is on the red card when you have a 30-second buffer. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arun, for highlighting that. Next, let me introduce or let me call upon our counter, which is a very important role, Toastmaster Aditya.
Yes. Thank you, Sankhya, for calling me. And the purpose of counter is to note the words and sounds that is used. There's cringe words and pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During this meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, also, and also, you know, I will also listen for the filler words, including ar. I will also note when these speakers repeat the words or a phrase such as I, and it means, or this means, and at the end of the meeting, I will give the report, the number of times that each speaker uses these expressions. So how much that is the role of my role,
Thank
and
you
waiting for the
so much.
report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya. Indeed, filler words plays a big role in our life, and that's what Toastmaster Aditya is going to observe and give me the report. And let's give a round of applause for our tag team, the timer and the accounter for today's meeting. And I will be coming back towards the end of the meeting once the prepared speech is done, along with my team. And back to you, Toastmaster Pragya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankya, for your introduction as well as introducing the tag team for the audience. With that, we will be moving towards the first section of today's session, that is our prepared speech. So the first speaker, the speaker for the day is Toastmaster Vishal. Let me introduce you to him. So Toastmaster Vishal is a strategy consultant and is currently associated with the Big Four. He's a Toastmaster member since 2021. He has served as VP Education for his previous club, TMCC Bhubaneswar. He loves to participate in running events like half marathons and 10Ks and is a travel enthusiast. So with that, his evaluator is Toastmaster Sonal. And before inviting Toastmaster Vishal for his speech, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Sonal to read out his speech objectives. So
Yes.
over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Program. The purpose of the project the speaker will be attempting is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is also for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Timer, please note the timing is between 5 and 7 minutes, and I wish the speaker all the very best.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Sonal. With that, please help me welcome Toastmaster Vishal. And the topic for his speech is Guiding Light. Toastmaster Vishal, Guiding Light, Toastmaster Vishal.
I believe mentorship is really important in our day-to-day lives. Raise your hand if you have ever been a mentor in your life to your proteges. Show me with a raise of hand. Perfect. I can see multiple raises, and that's amazing. I'm sure you, as a mentor to your proteges, the experience would have been amazing. So, on the contrary, believe that only a mentee gets benefit from a mentor. I've seen what's happening is even a mentor gets benefit from their proteges. I have been both a mentor and a proteges, but today in my speech, I'm going to cover what's been my role as a protege and what I have learned from various mentors which have been in touch in my throughout my life. I'll cover two critical mentors and some stories related to that. But before that, let me ask you another question. How many of you have registered for a gym membership? Please raise your hand. So I can see Arun laughing right now. I know he is a gym enthusiast, but okay, multiple raises, perfect. And how many of you, after enrolling, you have gone for a few days, but you have discontinued your gymming session? Raise your hand, please. Oh my God, Arun also. that was that that was surprise to me. But yeah, I can see some faces and some smiling faces raising your hands. I've been to this situation as well. I have registered for a gym session. However, I could not continue it and I have to stop it. But on the contrary, I have registered for a running session with Hyderabad runners in the year 2020. And I have continued for more than 4 or 5 years right now. And I'm into running and I've just completed my full marathon recently. So one questions which can come to your mind, what happened when I registered for a gym session and what happened when I registered for a running session? Why Toastmaster Vishal was successful with running, but he was not successful with the gym session? Any thoughts, any ideas which is coming to your mind? Any guesses?
Yes, because of the interest and the enthusiastic that you love running, and that's why.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya. You are correct. But what I have experienced, and this is my understanding, that the interest for me in running was raised one level up due to my mentor. He was my coach, he was my mentor for those running sessions. It was named as Couch to 5K. It means literally we were on a couch and then we started running for 5 kilometers without stopping. And that was that Couch to 5K program. And the mentor, Shailendra Deshu, we called him Salu, he helped me discover my inherent potential that I would be able to run 5 kilometers. And after that, the journey was smooth. And I was able to learn from the basics, which he helped me establish the foundation which was there. And then it was all like moving up the ladder. And let me tell you one simple story how he did it. When I was there in that session, I asked, "Hey, Salu sir, what should I do? I'm not able to run 5 kilometers. In my mind, I can run 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers straight, but after that, I have to take a break and I cannot do the entire 5 kilometer stretch." And Sailendra sir mentioned, "Hey, Vishal, let's do it together. Let's run together and we'll see what we can do differently." And at that moment, I was like, hey, this is the coach who is willing to run along with me side by side with my pace just to evaluate what's the root cause, what's stopping me after 2 and 3 kilometers, why I'm not able to do the entire 5 kilometer on a stretch. We started running together. We did it for 3 kilometers. And I was like, Salu sir, now I'm tired. Let's stop. And he's like, no, Vishal, let's push. We cannot stop. See, that we have to just go towards that tree and we have to finish. And as soon as we are there near the tree, he was like, now we have to be that tank and then we will stop. And that's how he sets the target, a small targets. And I was able to accomplish the tank, then the trees, then again the tank, then again the trees. And that's how the journey was for the 5 kilometer without stopping. What I learned from Solution was to break your targets into small stretches. And as a mentor, he has to walk the talk. That's what he did, right? When he mentioned that let's do it together, I was running, he was also running. We all both were running. And that's when he showed us that words is fine, but actions can make the whole difference. Same story in a different club. My previous club, Toastmasters. And it was with my mentor, Sudipto Koshri. He helped me. So first of all, we have, you all know, right? We have club contests during our club. It was my first time that I was trying for a club contest. I was nervous because I was not aware how to do it. But then my mentor, Sudipto Koshri, provided me lots of topics. We used to have lots of table topics practices, which helped me secure club level winner, area level winner, and then I became the division level runner up. It was his input, his guidance, his style of mentoring, which was very beneficial for me in the overall journey. Friends, we all will have lots of opportunity in our life. What I want to make sure that we all learn is there is no set framework for being a mentor and to provide mentorship. What I want from all of you is to raise your hands when there is an opportunity to be a mentor and find your proteges and help them succeed. Mentorship is not just about saying something, it's also about feeling the sense of belongingness, the connectness with your proteges, helping them succeed, to do the walk the talk, which many of my mentors have done with me. That's all from my side in terms of this overall learning experience. I hope you all will raise your hand towards any mentorship opportunity that will come your side and make your proteges proud and yourself proud as well. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Pragya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. It was a very inspiring and a very insightful speech. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Vishal, please, everyone. Thank you. All right. Now, since we have a new segment today, that is a moment of truth. So I think it is a good time for us to head towards the evaluation session. So for that, I will invite General Evaluator Toastmaster Shankya to present his report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pragya. And so we'll start off with the general evaluation session. And this segment is divided into three parts. The first part will be the on-the-spot evaluation for the prepared speech. The second one will be the tag team report. And finally, my evaluation for the entire meeting. So we will start off with the first segment. May I request our evaluator, Toastmaster Sunal, to share your evaluation. Toastmaster Sunal, you're on mute. Okay, I think there is some technical issue with Toastmaster Sonal because she has a power cut in between. So let me give the evaluation for you, Toastmaster Vishal. So Toastmaster Vishal, you give a wonderful start. The way you give about the various segments of the how your mentoring is impacting the story which you said. I see you started off with how your journey and why is it important for a mentor to begin with. So you gave the example of your when you started off with as a gym and also on your sporting aspect as well. So when I see that, and then you come up with your story saying that because there was a mentor which has impacted you, so that's the reason you stick on to it. And so that was so much relatable for all of us. What I really like about the way your story is structured, right? And so that was a very interesting one. Now to give you a few scope for improvement in terms of that, one is I see you were standing while you were giving the speech. That was carefully done. But however, the Zoom background which you have, as a result, because with the Zoom we have a limited option in terms of the entire window, right? So when you are going back and you are moving your hands and body gestures like the way I'm doing right now, so the few part of the body movements will always be there will be a problem on that one, right? And apart from that, there will be something also. So I see also Toastmaster Sonal has joined in. Thanks, Toastmaster Sonal. I know there was a power cut at your home. You would like to add on to the evaluation.
Yes,
Sonal.
yeah. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Vishal in particular. Toastmaster Vishal, what I liked about your speech was you highlighted the role of a mentor and a mentee. This is something that was beautifully brought out. I like how you started your speech with questions. So you involved the audience, you engaged us, ensured that we were invested in your speech. Very well done. The second thing is you exuded confidence. You were a very confident speaker. You know your content. You delivered it brilliantly. Now coming to what I absolutely loved, the highlight for me of your speech was the message that take up every opportunity and you learn, and how a good mentor can bring out the best in you. And you substantiated that using Shailendra, your coach, and you brought it out brilliantly. Beautiful message. Now, to take your speech a notch, I have two suggestions for you. The first one is, initially you reveal what you were going to talk about. Say, this is my project, I'm going to talk about mentoring. See, I already read out the project details. We have limited time. We have only 5 to 7 minutes time to state our point. So you're reiterating stuff, reiterating content which the audience already knows. So that's redundant information. Maybe you'd want to get rid of the redundant information. The second is, what comes towards the end is what lasts in the minds of the audience. So I wish you had ended a little more impactfully. I wish you had stopped when you said, I have walked the talk. Will you walk the talk? Provoke the audience to think, leave them on a thought-provoking question. The impact will be far more effective and impactful. Otherwise, I think brilliantly done. Keep up the good job. With that, I hand it back over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunal. Now, just to add a few lines for Toastmaster Sunal. One is, so Toastmaster Vishal, when you give the example of Silo Sir, right, your mentor, I see there was a characterization which you played along. So there was a conversation between you and your mentor. Now, since if you see from the story point of view, there were two characters over there. One is your Silo Sir. So you make a personification of Siloser. For example, how does Siloser speaks? Maybe he speaks very fast, or maybe he is an old man, or maybe he is a very enthusiastic, he speaks very motivational. So you create a personification based on the intonation. So for example, when you said, Siloser, what am I going to do? I'm not getting enough motivation. The Siloser said, you can do it, Vishal, you can do it. So every time whenever you have a conversation between the two of you, make that intonation so that people know that, okay, this is what is refers to, right? So with that, let's give a round of applause for our speaker for the day, Toastmaster Vishal and Toastmaster Sonal. Thank you so much for that. Next up, I would request our tag team, Toastmaster Arun, to please present your timer report.
Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So thank you, Sankhya, for actually giving me the opportunity. So here we don't have any table topics, only primarily the speaker and then evaluator. The time about whatever they have taken is what I'm going to present. Speaker 1 TM Vishal, the time allowed was like 4 to 7 minutes, and then actually is like 7 minutes 30 seconds. Evaluator TM Sonal, the time allowed is like 2 to 3 minutes, and then Sonal took 1 minute 39 seconds. Yeah, I think that's the primary time kind of evaluation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much to Toastmaster Arun. So just a small, word here. So while in the Toastmaster, we write before our name as TM, but when we say it as a Toastmaster, not as TM. Right? So that's the only thing. But let's give a round of applause for carefully handling the timing, because that requires a lot of patience, a lot of observations, when to start the time, when to end the time, and how to report the time. Next, we have the R counter for today's meeting. May I request Osma Aditya to be on the stage, please?
1 second. Can you see the screen or no?
Not yet.
Okay, wait. Now can you see it?
Nope. Yeah, it's
Now?
coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see now.
So as only we have one speaker is Toastmaster Vishal, and I just split into the things that is filler words and the repeated words. The filler words, that is that is about 2 times, and the repeated words, that was that the 2 times repeatedly he said, and how much people. So that was one repeat word, whereas everything was a very good, very less filler word. So very good performance from Vishal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya. Let's give a round of applause for the R counter for today's meeting. Thank you. You can unshare your screen, Aditya. Okay. And with that, let me start off with my third segment of the general evaluation, which is how the meeting goes way. Aditya, if you can unshare your screen, please. Okay. So the meeting was started by our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Rohit. Toastmaster Rohit, brilliantly done, because you have laid out the 3 ground rules. What I really like, because you are the face of the meeting, and you started off with in a very nice way. I would see you had a very smiling face and a very gentle way of starting off with the meeting, setting the ground rules. That was brilliantly done. So let's give a round of applause for our Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, Toastmaster Rohit. Great. Now the baton was passed on to our presiding officer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Toastmaster Venkatesh, excellent work done. Was the way you started off with the meeting. When you took the handover, you perfectly opened the meeting with a bang, and you explained that what is the history of the Toastmaster. There was engagement with the audience when you started asking the questions, which always gives a very inquisitive about that, what's the Toastmaster is all about and when it all started. So that was well done. And very carefully, you also started engaging with the guest about the guest introductions. And that was really well done. So let's give a round of applause for our presiding officer, for Toastmaster Venkatesh. And then the baton was passed on to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pragya. Toastmaster Pragya, first, this is the first time you are taking up the teamwork role, and this is one of the role which is very critical, very crucial, because you are like the hook of the meeting. You are creating a necklace for all the meeting roles point together. What I really liked, first of all, the topic that you chose, the joy of spring. It was such a beautiful topic that everybody got hooked up. What I really liked, when you started off with the meeting, you started off with the slide. That slide, the presentation, the picture that you put on the slide was so soothing. People can relate to that. And the way you started engaging, I see almost everybody in the meeting started engaging, because it's not an easy job to have this engagement. And as the Toastmaster of the day, you did a fantastic job. Then you come up with the second PPT also with beautiful pictures. You didn't put too much content on the PPT. Instead, you put the pictures, because pictures and your narration behind them actually plays the entire role as when you talk about the theme. Your voice intonation was very, very friendly, and it was very soothing as well, which was also one of the reason which people got engaged more. Rightfully, you said about the 3 segments of the meeting, the prepared speech, the evaluation, and the table topics. And today we'll not have the table topics. Instead, we will have the MOT, which we'll do it now. Just one small advice in terms of the improvement area. When you are using the PPT, now this is very crucial, especially when we are in a virtual session. When we are using a PPT, you opened up the PPT, and now since we are using the virtual, your picture over the Zoom window comes towards in a very small place because of the way the Zoom is functioned. Now, if you keep the PPT shared for a longer time or throughout your duration, people will not be able to see you properly. Instead, the PPT will be, it will take out 80% of the screen space, right? So what you can do in order to improve on is keep on changing. So for example, you showed the PPT, you spoke about it, then you unshare. then you started speaking. Again, you share your screen, speak, then you unshare, so that people can see you as well on that. But excellent job done. Let's give a big round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pragya. And since we do not have the table topic for today's meeting, which we'll have definitely in the next to next session, but with that, let me that will wrap up for our general evaluation. And with that, let me pass on the baton to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pragya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator Toastmaster Shankya, and for presenting such a detailed report, and for all the tag team and our evaluator Sonal for sharing the evaluation for the speaker. Now we have a new segment, as I mentioned earlier in the meeting, that we have a a different segment today, that is Moment of Truth. And as mentioned, the purpose of this segment is to actually gather your thoughts and to hear to get your feedback on the proceedings of the meeting, and we would like to know how we can improve, or what are the good things that you like about us as well. Please feel free to share that. So with that, I will hand it over to Toastmaster Vishal to please drive this segment for the audience. So over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Sure. Thank you so much, Pragya. Sakya, just wanted to confirm how much time do we have for this segment?
5 to 10 minutes max. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Having said that, friends, so first of all, thank you so much everyone who have filled the survey. The survey was floated 3-4 days back, and I've seen most of us have filled that survey. So appreciate all your help in filling the survey. It helps us get the quantification of where we are right now and where we have to improve. And again, I mean, that survey and the response is not just a representation of our EC. It's not even a representation of any EC. It's we as a club, how we are doing. Let me share the analysis which we have done based on the survey response. So if you are able to see the screen, we have 5 themes: first impression, membership orientation, fellowship, variety, communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, achievement, recognition. So these were the key themes. What I've observed during our analysis is we are in a scale of 1 to 5, we have scored 4+ across all the segments. There are few where we are in the 4 to 4.5 range, and there are few questions which are dragging the numbers down. For example, the guest book, wherever we have these yellow colors, right? These were the questions where we received the response which was on the average side, and that's some of the areas which we are focusing on to improve. And we also want to know what's working good, so that if we are, let's say we are scoring 4.9, it means we are doing good. But it will be helpful in this session to discuss overall for this entire moment of truth, the way we are conducting our meetings, how are we doing, which are areas which are strength points based on your assumptions, your assessment, and what are the areas where we can do or improve upon. So I'll open the forum with this as a a baseline, and will ask all of you to share your thoughts. Number one, what are we doing good, and then we will go to where we can improve. So the forum is open for all of you to share your thoughts.
Okay. Can I start?
Sure, Aditya, please.
Yes. A good thing is that, that is a very good feedback from each and every person, and also people are serious about their, their work, and meeting is also on time, and good connection of, speaking, like for example, the good organization, so that you remember at what time your speaker is going to speak and what time they're going to, each and every person has, involved in roles taking. That is good point. The second point I can say, one thing is that we need to improve in things like, for example, guests are coming here. So
Mhm.
for this table topic session, what I will suggest is like one it should be a member and one should be a guest. Another should be a member, another should be a guest. So like that, if you organize like suppose in the table topic, even the guest also have a chance to speak and come forward and get their fear out of it, and they feel okay, you can they can come forward and we can also speak. So we can give guests as more chance of coming into the meeting, so that can be improved. That's it, I cannot say that.
Thank you so much, Aditya.
Yes.
Any other thoughts?
Uh,
Go ahead, Jitendra, please. I see you are raising your hand.
So first of all, giving to the point of that it's a wonderful sort of a session, and it's a wonderful tribe. It's a wonderful group. It's an energy which is positive, and everything being raised into level of say 10 to 9. I can put it like 9 as of now in terms of understanding part. Yes, the point of like how we're going to take it forward, I just want to say two things because I really appreciate the energy of Vishal because in this 5 minute speech, he has done a lot of things. Or Pragya, like she's coordinating, and what Sankhya said is a part of necklace. Absolutely right. So my only point is that if you're going to put one thing there, like when the speaker going to continue and going to conclude the session, okay, after 5 minutes, let's give a chance for everyone to spend 30 seconds or 1 minute or 1.5 minutes to give a thought process. Because see, this is a wonderful topic taken by Vishal, mentorship. Because mentorship is something which is a direction part. Because in nowadays I found that okay, people are directionless. So like if this is going to be taken a part of thought process, it's going to give some more sort of a light to the second person. And the last thing is connect, because now it's a group of say 16 people. Now the connect is very important because unless until we have a connect in a deeper way, we can't grow. So with this, I can just say and really enjoy the session, and I want to again put all my good wishes to the entire group and looking forward to something more in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jitendra. It was lovely hearing you. Yeah. Anybody else want to share anything?
yeah, I mean, Vishal, can I go ahead?
Sure, please.
Yeah, so one thing is like, see, the moment I started coming to the team, right, like after interaction as a guest for a few sessions, and then come as a member after that, is because of the environment that, I mean, the overall team or the members are giving. It's very easy to talk. I don't have any kind of, kind of reservation to speak. Should I speak or like what will be the even if I make a mistake, like there is no, like harsh comments. So it's very friendly environment. It gives me a positive, like a chance to actually come back and then, like keep trying. Like whatever the issues I'm having. So that's the primemost thing which I saw in the group, like which is very appreciable. Thanks for all that one. And that's the primary important point, like positive side, which I would say. And then organization anyway is going good. And one suggestion could be like, maybe we can give as I think like Aditya told, like we can give more space to the guest. We are already giving that some space because I also got enough opportunities to start as a guest to speak, especially in the kind of impromptu speaking. Right. So if we can actually give some more time for them to actually speak, if like opportunities and then encouragement is will be good. Another point is like probably we should give more kind of advertisement. I don't know how do we do that, and probably we need to discuss and then maybe seek the point from other members as well, or maybe with the guests to actually see like how to get more people here, because from my perspective is like public speaking and communication is so important, and especially when we are growing in the organization or in any other fields, right? But it's very less chance to get an opportunity or forum to kind of improve our skills. And this is one of the like one of the important forum. I don't know, maybe I also got from my mentor that I had to come here, otherwise I was not aware of. So maybe from our kind of this group, right? Probably we can actually give some way to communicate and then show some kind of, I don't know, maybe could be advertisements or some other way to give, like the news to other people who can actually join here and then can benefit out of this. That's one suggestion, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Otherwise, all looks great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Arun. Anybody else want to share Tamil, you are joining us. Any suggestions from your side?
Yeah, Vishal. So the good thing, or so most of the sessions, like the sessions which I have attended so far, so those are all very interactive. Whether it is a planned speech or the topic of the day, right? So it's interactive, and everyone is involved. That's one good thing, and the evaluation part or the timekeeping is also it's very perfect actually. And on the implement, right, as Arun and everyone said, giving more opportunities to the guests, and also if you can give some topics like 3 or 4 topics and allow the guests to come up forward themselves and choose the topic which they can speak. So, like in, for example, in one of my sessions, so I was asked to speak something impromptu. So there was an impromptu speech, and I was not ready actually that day. So that was my first session, and suddenly, so when I was called, it was very less time to process the entire thing actually. So okay, I'm going to speak now. So even I was not ready at the time, and also if there are any topics like 3 or 4 topics given to us, and I think that would allow us to get some courage and start speaking.
Sounds good. Makes sense, Tamil. Thanks for your pointers. I mean, it's good that you are sharing these because you are the guest right now, right? And we'll get those inputs as well. So appreciate your thoughts, Tamil.
Yeah, thanks,
Um,
Vishal.
I can see Toastmaster Samita as well. Samita, do you want to share any thoughts?
Hi. Yeah, I had a thought process that we do have an amazing club and we all come here, we learn every single day. Number of speeches, if we could increase, that I think so can come from having mentors, maybe that might to help others to, like, whenever someone has a speech that is a concern, how 4 minutes, how will I speak, whether I can speak. So a mentor can help there, more mentors and a regular connect with the mentors. The rest, I think so it's going fine. We have scored more than 4.5, and of course more members. It's an amazing club and more people should come and join and get the benefit out of it. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita. So
One question I
ahead.
have, Vishal, on
Yeah.
the mentors. So I'm not clear, like, is mentors from within the club or is it from outside, and when do they get assigned? How do we reach out? Because I do not seem to have, I mean, I don't know who my mentor is. So I think we need some clarity. There's some gap there when new members join or something around that.
Sure. So I'm not answering it right now, Rohit. I'm just collecting all the points so that we as a XCOM group will set up, will assess these things, and then probably will solidify the process. There is a process already established. There is some knowledge gap. We will
Yes.
try to cover it at the right appropriate opportunity. But point
Perfect.
noted, the challenges from your side noted, Rohit.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ram, I see you are raising your hand. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I believe actually, yes, I love this club. It is quite positive, and all the speeches are quite useful and informative. They are uplifting. It's a very friendly and positive environment um, there in the club. Okay, that's why I keep on visiting the club. Coming to the improvements, I feel yes. I don't know already this mentor kind of process is already there or not, but for all the members whoever want to have a mentor, I think if that can be provided, I guess that will help the people even better, so they can easily deliver the speeches. They can take the guidance and they can grow more. That is one thing. And again, I'm not too sure whether it is there or not. And seasonally, we can give some awards and recognition to the best performers. Like if someone is keep on attending the club and keep on giving the speeches, and he completed his pathways level 1, probably, let's say, on completion of one particular milestone, we can recognize him with some award. that also motivates people. I think
Oh,
these are the suggestions from my end, but it's yeah, it's quietly positive. It's mostly all positive from my side. It's a very good club. Yeah.
no, thank you so much, Ram. I know you have already registered for some other club, and you are bringing that knowledge to this meeting. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Point well taken, Ram.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else anybody wants to
Vishal,
share?
I want to add one more point.
Yeah,
I think
please.
like we have, I mean, like especially as seen these sessions from Samita ma'am and all. So the Rockstar program, lot of inputs, and then especially we are inviting some other international speakers also sometimes, right, to come here. I think that Rockstar program also, I think a lot of people may not be knowing that one, and then they will not be, since they don't know, right, they cannot understand and then how to get benefit out of it, because the importance of that one. If we can somehow message, especially in guest group or overall group, right? It will be great. Like they can also understand why it is required, what is importance, and then that will, I mean, like I mean, both sides will be getting benefit out of that, right? That's one suggestion.
Toastmaster Vishal, maybe we can continue with this one after our educational session is done. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think point well taken. But we have lots of suggestions.
Yeah, exactly.
We have noted it. Thank you, everyone. We'll sit back. We will involve you as we want to implement it going forward. So thank you, everybody, for sharing all your thoughts. I'd like to hand over the stage back to Rockstar Program Coordinator, Toastmaster Sancha. Over to you, Toastmaster Sancha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. And while we will come back to this feedback session after this. So for all the Toastmasters, for all the guests who have joined for the first time, may I request you to please switch on the video, because that will be an awesome way to interact and to see how everybody feels about it. Jitendra, Ram, Aditya, Samita, Siddharth, Vina, if you can switch on the video if possible. Well, to give you a brief about what is this Rockstar program all about, which we started a month back. We started exactly on 14th of Jan. And this program was started, and this is a very, very exclusive program for Speakers Den, for Toastmasters, because in other clubs, we normally do not follow this method. But here we are doing this. And we are doing this to aim to train our members and guests so that they take up these roles. They know that what are the various things we have. And let me share my screen as well. So this is the program which we did it till now. We started on 14th of Jan. And we started off with the online meetings, how to conduct the online meetings. Then we also have what are the various role takers. Then we have Toastmaster Samita taking up the crafting of the speech, how to deliver a speech, then the evaluation techniques. And today we have a beautiful another topic as well. So that is the overall objective of the Rockstar program, to train even the guests as well. But however, the member get extra advantage because they get to take up various meeting roles. And this Toastmaster is all about practice. And thanks to the new Toastmasters who have taken up, who have joined recently, and they have taken up roles like Toastmaster of the Day, and even they have come up with their speeches as well, the icebreaker speeches, which we say. And that's where the momentum starts. And to continue with that momentum, today we have a wonderful topic for the Rockstar program. It's all about something which is very close to my heart, because most of us are working in the corporate. And in the corporate, something really stands out, which is all about the business storytelling. And this is a different one. And who is going to do that? Well, that's someone who is Supriya. And if I talk about her, like, she has a huge experience in the corporate, and she grew up listening to the tales of Akbar Birbal and Vikram Vetal, and reaching Panchatantra and surprisingly still remembers most of them. And in her 16 years of corporate experience also, because she's currently working on with an investment bank and as in a leadership profile, she has realized stories are what stay with us and not the facts and statistics that we present. Now, you might forget how much profit a startup made, but will most likely remember how they got there. And she is no different from all of us and is adding few lines every day to create a story of her life. But today, she is here to tell us how to add these lines to craft a story around your work. So, with that, let's give a round of applause and welcome today's session master, Supriya. Supriya, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shanko. It's indeed a moment of nostalgia for me to be back in this forum after a long time. And I believe the entire story crafting started from Toastmasters, at least for me. This is the forum where I've written stories, I've crafted, I've heard great stories, I've mentored a lot of them, and some of them they are still there with me. I still remember them because they were either thought-provoking, they either wowed me, or I felt an emotional connect with them. And I believe that's the power that stories have, and it is something that probably all of us would agree as well. So before I actually jump onto the topic, let's hear from all of you and try to make this session interactive and not just a presentation thing. Do you remember any speech, any presentation, any movie as such that is still there, as they say, etched in your heart? Anybody?
Yes, for me, Pursuit of Happiness.
The Pursuit of Happiness. Okay. Yes, that's a beautiful movie, Ram. And why do you remember it?
Yeah,
What
because
made you?
yes, the story and what kind of challenges he faced in his life, and how he tackled them, and how he overcome his zeal to achieve. Those are the things that touched my heart. When he attends the interview, what happened before and how he presents himself.
Yes. It's a beautiful movie, and I totally agree. Motivating, as well as at like somewhere you are able to relate to whatever the storyline of that movie is with yourself. That life is not always rosy. There are challenges, there are hardships, but there's always a rainbow on the other side, right? So there's another industry that is almost it holds an expertise in when it comes to storytelling. Any guesses what that industry is? And I think we see it day in and day out.
I think marketing, advertisement.
Absolutely. Thank you for the answers, Samita and Bill. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yes. So we all see advertisements, right? Almost every day. Some of them we are not able to connect what the ad has to do with the product, but some of them leave an impact on us. And I believe that is what compels us to at least try out the product. You're wowed by the story that they've built around the product. But I would say that thank you for going on mute. If we talk about a product selling, right, I personally feel creating a story around it is easy. But the challenge comes for us, given that we are in corporate, when we are asked to give a presentation in front of the stakeholders to present the accomplishments of our team, to give the status of the project, to maybe present a POC, or to pitch so that you want to include an additional tool, you want to buy a particular tool. and you're asked to pitch in front of your stakeholders, telling the pros and cons and why do you need that tool and all of those things. So today I've tried to precisely put together few pointers which I have felt can help us to start including the storytelling in our corporate presentations. All right. And I'm really happy that all the evaluations and the R counter reports are done, so now I can go freely without having that fear in my mind that how many R's and I'm somebody is noting that down. But I would like to know the timer. I think Arun, you are the timer, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so you will show me the famous green, yellow, and red cards.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so can you show me the green card at 12:45? And
12:45,
then,
okay.
yeah, 12:45, and then yellow after 10 minutes, and red, I don't know. I leave it up to you. Whenever you want me to show the red, you can show it.
Done,
All
done,
right,
done.
guys. So I will share my screen, and good, I joined when General Evaluator was presenting his report. And Shanko, I'll try to include your feedback that keep sharing and stop sharing to make the session more interactive. I think that is indeed a great trick. So storytelling in business. One of the framework that works for most of the in most of the corporate presentations is something that is proposed and that is used by McKinsey. It is one of the consulting firms. So this framework is called the SCQRA framework. It's not my framework. I'll just hide the panel. 1 second. So it is McKinsey's framework, and it's known as the SCQA framework. Any guesses what S stands for? Now I'll give you a scenario. Let's say that I have a lot of I have something that requires a lot of manual efforts right now. And the team does it day in and day out. But the problem is because there's so much of manual intervention that is going into that process, it results in a lot of errors. It requires at times people to stretch. There is a need for handover across teams once somebody is logging off. Sometimes they even have to work over the weekends. Reporting gets delayed, SLAs get breached, and all of those challenges are there. So in this framework, we'll try to fit storytelling. So I'll start with the S so that you get a little bit of a hint. So the S stands for situation. Okay. And what we are doing right now, we are creating the storyboard. So the very first step towards creating a storyboard for any presentation is to assess the situation. What are we currently talking about? So in the scenario that I stated, what is the current situation? Anybody can briefly summarize it again? The project that I just spoke of.
Manual effort is causing a lot of rework, inefficiency, SLAs,
Yes.
reporting, burnout,
Yes.
employee satisfaction, etc., etc.
Perfect. Thank you, Ashbir, for that. So after you have laid down what the current situation is, next comes the C. Any guesses on what the C could be? Now I've explained this is what the situation is. This is what the scenario is.
Choice.
Okay.
Context.
Context is covered in S.
Content.
Content is yet to come. So
Challenge.
think of your brainstorming something.
Creative.
Communication.
Collaboration.
A little bit more. It's something very difficult.
Constructive.
Like a maze, like a spider web.
Is it not challenges?
little close, your little close, Ram. So C stands for complication here. Okay, I have described the situation that, boss, it's too manual, SLA is breaching, employee satisfaction, people are stretching, all of that. What is the complication in this scenario? That is the situation is the work is very manual. That is the situation. The complication is now you talk about all the problems that you are encountering or you are facing because the process is manual. So all the pointers that we just spoke about, that there are a lot of errors, SLAs are getting breached, there's a delay in time, people have to stretch, that falls into complication. What challenges you have with the current situation? You put those down next. All right. Then comes the Q. There are very few words on this earth that start with a Q. So tell me what this Q could be.
Questions?
There you go. Absolutely. Thank you, Ram. Question. I've told this scenario. I'm telling what the problem is with that scenario. And now we question. Question can also be taken as you brainstorm. That, okay, this is a problem. Now, what do we do with it? What it is impacting? You know, we are actually questioning the problem. We are trying to discover where the gaps are. You are questioning the process. And as part of questions, you can also think about the questions that might come from the third party in front of whom you are about to present this. All right, so the third layer is question. And where there is a question, there has to be an
answer.
And that's your A. I have a bunch of questions. I have my problem laid out. I have my situation laid out. And now we try to design or derive or come to a proposed solution. Okay, this is the very first step in storytelling or storyboarding, as they say. Now, this can be used in, as I said, if you are about to pitch for some tool, even if you remember the presentations where they say, present a business case if you need more resources. Present a business case if you want to onboard an XYZ tool because you want to automate something. So SCQA framework, I think it fits quite well, and at least it will give you a start for your presentation. Any questions, guys, before I move ahead? Yeah.
Complicate. Okay, this is a questioning is what is mean, right? Like after complication, you're going to the question. And like what type of questions you're going to address the customer or anyone, like because sometimes if I see, you know, like if they sell me the pen, if the interview is like that, and if I try to ask a question, is saying, why are you asking the question? I have to ask the question. So what does that mean?
So, okay, that's a great question. The SCQA framework, it don't apply it in the interview method, right? It's more related to the presentation decks that we are giving in the corporate. But to your point, I would say that there is no harm in asking questions during an interview, right? It all depends upon how the interviewer addresses those. But so are you thinking of product selling and then the questions? I'm not able to get your name.
My name, right?
It was Aditya. Yeah.
Aditya.
Okay. So are you talking in terms of product selling, Aditya? Are you on mute?
Yeah, product selling. Yes, I'm talking about more on product selling. Sometimes they'll say, don't ask so much questions all that time.
No, okay. So this question, don't confuse it with the questions being asked during the presentation. This is the prep work that you're doing. This is your internal team that is brainstorming. And you are brainstorming the questions that might be raised from the problem that you just addressed. For example, if I'm saying there's a lot of manual work, the question is, what is the problem with it? You do other things manually also. Why can't you continue doing this? I'll give you 10 more resources, continue doing it manually. So you need an answer to that. So it's the internal discussion that you're having, kind of predicting what questions might be asked or posed related to the complication, related to the problem that we just presented. I hope.
Yeah, sorry. So in this context of, let's say, minor, manual work, what is the complication? Like question, okay, we understand, like why can't you continue doing the manual work? But what's the complication in that?
Anybody wants to answer that? What are the complications of something is done manually? And again, thinking of the corporate stuff, people in production support, development.
Maybe errors, like more errors, time taken.
Resources, is it? Like we need more resources.
It is more error prone because it's manual, right? We are all humans. We are prone to errors. It is more time consuming. And if you give me a tool, things will be automated, things will be faster, efficient. You see the buzzword AI all over nowadays. So it's improving the efficiency of things. It will give you less, it is less subjected to errors. It will give a better performance maybe. And your resources can instead be utilized to do something more productive, rather than maybe just they're churning the data, doing copy paste in Excel, applying VLOOKUPs, working with huge data. And this leaves hardly 5% time to do the actual analysis or the actual troubleshooting, because just the preparation, just the massaging of data is taking up all the time. So these are the types of complications that we can think of in this situation.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the questions. Now, once I have my SCQA figured out, now comes the interesting part, which is visual storyboarding. Have you heard of this term before? It is a big buzzword out there nowadays. Visual storyboarding is nothing but visually, roughly representing your ideas and then linking them in such a way that it becomes a story. Now, we generally tend to start off right away, jump and open a PowerPoint presentation, and we start putting the ideas. Slide one, header, you move on to the next slide, you put the next heading. Avoid doing that is something what I would suggest. Instead, go with this method of, you can use Post-its, you can use a whiteboard in your office. I use a diary and a pen to just jot down the ideas, and we do it together as a team, to jot down the ideas that what each and every slide should have. Okay, get into a meeting room, put it out on a whiteboard. First slide, agenda, obviously. Second slide, this thing. Third slide, so and so. Now, what this diagram does is, firstly, it will, okay, let me not say that. What do you think? Why do you think this is needed? What does it do? Or how is it different from how you've been doing things currently?
It adds probably yeah, go on, Arun.
It adds what? I'm sorry, I was not able to catch that.
Probably adds a good structure and the flow,
Structure.
and
Yes.
you can
Structure,
anticipate what is
flow.
going to come at different
Yes.
stages, and
Yes.
then you can say that, okay, this is the next slide which will cover the so and so, so on, so forth.
Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Anybody else wants to add to it?
I mean, all the ideas are at one point and we can refer.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you for that answer. So it keeps everything at one place. It's right there in front of you. Remember the time when you are reviewing somebody's presentation and you say, again and again, you have to say, can you go back to slide 3? I think we already mentioned this over there. Can you go back to so-and-so slide? Because I think you mentioned 249 over there, but here it is 268. So a lot of back and forth. If you go ahead with this type of a structure, everything is in one place. The flow is right there in front of you. And some people, as you can see in the first diagram, right, they also decide the layout of the slide. I don't do that because I prefer preparing the layout once I am in PowerPoint, because that gives me the actual look and feel. But that's also a way to represent your data. And visual storyboarding, I would say it is also something that we can utilize in our meetings. You know, we have these team meetings which tend to get very boring, right? If you're having, and I'm not talking about the Scrum meetings, it's the monthly team meetings where you address your entire group, you give them management updates and other stuff. So there you can use visual storyboarding to get ideas from your team. Many times I have heard leaders leaving a comment that, guys, let us know what other topics you would like to be covered in the upcoming meetings, right? And I would say we all have a challenge getting those topics. So come up with these creative ideas, you know, have post-its with you and tell people to write everything on the post-it, and they can stick the post-it like upside down on the board or a wall or maybe on the table as well. And then when the meeting is over, you just take it out. So different ways of doing it. It's a classic way to take feedback as well for your session, feedback about you as a speaker, as a presenter. So try these out. And even in Toastmasters Forum, by the way, you can use, I know we have gone virtual, but if you're doing things offline, use post-its to make your table topic session more interactive. So visual storyboarding, it really helps you, as the name tells, to imagine how your layout would be. It helps to clearly describe the flow, keep things more structured, and see if everything that you've put out there is necessary, is definitely needed. So that's visual storyboarding. Thank you for the green card, Arun. After the visual storyboarding comes putting together your storyline. Now, storyline is a simple structure. I think we almost follow it. It's about having a dot in your slide, which will describe the theme, or which will describe the topic in broad, rather the subtopic broadly, and then followed by a dash. So the dash is giving some more details with relevance to my dot. So in the previous scenario that we discussed, right, what can be my dot? The project that we discussed. What can be the dot? If you're talking about situation.
Process that is having a lot of manual work.
That's the dot. Now what can be the dash? So dash is the supporting facts for your dot. So dash can be
It's causing errors, it's taking a lot of time.
Okay, you're moving to complications, Ram, but if we just talk about the scenario, so my dot is lot of manual hours. My dash can be how many manual hours, right? How much percentage of everybody's time, everybody's bandwidth is going into that manual work? Because a dash is a supporting fact for my dot. So this really helps to give a context. It helps to keep things, again, structured and give a very clean representation of whatever you're doing. So try to follow the dot and the dash structure for every slide to summarize your topics that you want to present. And then comes the most, I would say, challenging part, which is all about delivering it in the right way. And we'll do an exercise after this. It's on the next slide. When it comes to delivering these presentations, that is where the actual storyline will come out. You all are Toastmasters, and you know what aspects, what crucial aspects go into delivery. So what are they? Just say it in terms of your speeches, whatever you have learned in Toastmasters. Your mentors always talk about what type of an opening?
The main meat, the body, and then the conclusion with a call to action, preferably.
Perfect. Thank you, Vishal. So opening, you must have always heard, right, that open it strong, open it with an impact, open it with something that immediately captures the attention of the audience. We also call it the hook statement. Try this method even in your corporate presentation, guys. The world is looking for creativity. Gone are the days when people used to start off by a presentation. Hello, everyone. I am Supriya, and I welcome all of you. Today, the topic for the presentation is And there's so much of information out on YouTube. There's so much information out there on Google to tell how presentations can be started differently. Say something about the meeting room, talk about food, talk about people. There's also something known as a false start. Remember those speeches where people just, they start off with a very imaginative, giving you a beautiful visual story, and then they ended by saying, and then I suddenly woke up from my dream, right? So that is what we are talking about when we say that the opening of your presentations can also be creative. It need not be always, hello, hi, I'm so-and-so. And in the next exercise, we'll see how we can do those creative openings in our presentations. The next one is to make sure that the flow is maintained. And how do you maintain a flow is by ensuring transitions are smooth. Avoid using the terms like, let's move on to the next slide. The moment you say this, it breaks the flow of your presentation. That's why remember the story, the visual storyboard. Ensure that each and every slide is connected to each other, because that is how you will maintain the transition. Okay. Now, if from scenario, I have to move to complications, I will not say moving on to the next slide and now let's talk about the complications. Right? A better way to do would be, this is the current situation and the team is really struggling with it. And this is something that we would want to improve because this process has a lot of complications. Now you show the complication slide. You're done with complications. Then you say, speaking, we all have had a clear idea of what the challenges are. And when we internally looked at these challenges, we questioned us. What can we improve? And that is how I move to my question slide, right? So the words that you use when you are moving from one slide to another, that do the magic. That do the magic of maintaining that storyline and not just breaking the flow. Any questions on these three, opening, flow, and transitions? No? All right. Remember to summarize things as well towards the end. Why do you think summarization is important? And this is something, even if you have given a speech, a Toastmasters speech on presenting facts and figures. I'm not sure what the new manual of pathways has, but a topic that involves research, it's always recommended to summarize it at the end. Why do you think summarization is important? What happens when somebody summarizes the entire content towards the end?
You get the main points once again, and it helps you to recall.
Yes, thank you for the answer. It helps you to recall, and I saw this in one of the presentations and I really liked it, where the presenter asked the audience to summarize. You know, especially if you're in a team meeting, and don't do it like a teacher and a student. Try to keep it light, but I think it's a very creative way of summarizing the content. I've also seen this. It was again in one of the presentations where they made teams. Okay, it was I think 30-40 people in the room. They made groups, and now they asked every group to summarize the slide at the end. So group 1, they summarize slide 2. Group 3, they summarize slide 3. So, and it was very engaging, and the other groups were asked to find faults, like what did they say wrong or what did they miss. So it keeps everybody hooked on to the topic. Definitely, you're able to recollect whatever was being presented. And it's a great way to do a recap of everything that was just said. So try this out. Have your audience summarize it instead of you summarizing it. It really helps. And then, of course, the conclusion, which generally I have seen fades away. But in a story, when you are, how do you think the conclusion should be? And I think, Vishal, you already mentioned it as an answer to the other question. There should be a
call to action.
Either a call to action, or it can be thought-provoking, right? Or even sometimes the conclusion can have a twist as well, right? So, but all these three things that I just mentioned, it need not apply to every presentation that I'm giving. So don't think that there has to be a call to action in my presentation. No. In the previous scenario, there might be, because we are pitching to get a buy-in for a particular technology or a tool. But if I am presenting something related to my project status or my team performance, that can be thought-provoking, definitely. But if I'm just presenting my team's accomplishments, you need not have a call to action or thought-provoking. So bottom line, don't just beat yourself hard to find something related to that this should have a COA or this should have a twist. No. But make sure whenever you're concluding it, conclude it on a high note. That is what I won't say thumb rule, but that is what the recommendation is. End a presentation on a high note, on a positive note. That is something which your audience will always remember. And make it unique each time. Every time you go for a presentation, guys, push yourself and think, how can I do it differently from what I did last time? How can this story be crafted differently? How can the story be presented differently? You must be knowing there's a lot of focus nowadays on using graphics and images in the PPTs rather than making it textual, right? Because that is what people are interested in. They don't want to read presentations. They want to imagine the situations through pictures and through graphics. And that is where visual storyboarding will help you with that. Okay. Now it's time to do something interesting. And this slide talks about 2023 accomplishments of a particular team. Now let's see how differently we can do this in a storytelling way. It is a simple slide, and the awards and trophies section looks something like this. So anybody would like to take a stab at it? Take a few seconds and think how you can present this slide in a storytelling form.
Okay, can I try
Yeah, sure, Aditya, go for it.
let's try my level best, okay?
No pressure.
Okay, yes, this is, okay, slide of storytelling, okay. Successful migration and automatic to process saving 5 minutes, yes, pipeline projects, okay.
So there are many people who are coming to, to India for the pipeline projects, and there are a lot of, you know, great migrations so that they come to India for these pipe projects, and they are to automatic process where it saves, almost 50 hours each month. And also very important is that, eh, due to the migration, successful migration, your team expansion also increases. So then the more the team expansion is there and more the pipeline projects or whatever projects, it will be more savings of time each and every month. Like example, I can give you as a storytelling, like example I can give you is that 10 if is a project of one product, it like suppose that 50 products you want to sell to somebody. If I just give 20 people, it will take more time. But similarly, if I expand the team into from 20 to 40 members, it will, get it reduced. The time will, get reduced. Instead of 50 hours or something, it will get into about half an hour. So you get, this precious time, and more production can be exported or imported.
Yes.
So that's what I know.
All right. Yeah, I think that was nicely put, Aditya. And you gave a lot of supporting points to these facts, right? Now, what if you have to transition from the section of pipeline projects team expansion, which is something that is upcoming in my team, to the awards function? Anybody else would want to try that? You have to transition from pipeline projects team expansion to the recognition and awards section. How will you do that transition?
Shall I try?
Yeah, go ahead, Ram.
Okay. So, pipeline projects and team expansions are going to happen. So, projects A, B, C, and X, Y, Z are our pipeline projects, and we are planning to expand our team from 40 members to the 60 member. And to secure these pipeline projects and to secure this team expansion, so many existing members have contributed a lot. They have made the existing projects so successful, and they have optimized the existing process and improved the costs and reduced the time to market. So we wanted to recognize their outstanding contributions and efforts. And the here the outstanding performers are
not recognized at all. So yeah, I think you connected it really well, that how the reason of these pipeline projects and team expansion is the current team, is the existing team, and they should definitely be recognized for all they have done. But unfortunately, 2023 wasn't their year, it seems, and you're just echoing the sentiments of the entire team, something like that, right? So I think Aditya and Ram, you guys presented it quite well. I'll just
so they are not recognized, is it? So, sorry to say.
Yeah, so that's why I had the icons.
Oh,
They're all
okay,
sad
yeah,
icons, right? So
yeah,
the first one is
okay,
sad,
okay.
second is angry, third is like still waiting for being
All right,
recognized.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so
got it. That will be the next phase. So how will be that? Okay, got it.
yeah. So instead of leaving that section blank, you can use emojis. You can use some other graffiti over there, actually. Doodling is also a thing right now. But so let's say I'm entering a meeting room to present this in front of US stakeholders. How can you start your presentation? And I'm not the first presenter. I am the second or third presenter. Any ideas that you can think of? So I'll hand it over to you. Now to talk about 2023 accomplishments for this team, it's over to whoever wants to start.
I think when we started out 2023, 50% of our effort would go into manual reconciliation. Now fast forward 1 year down the line, that has reduced. The operational risk, which was quite evident in all the reporting, has come down now. And this also means that, our team has got a lot of capacity to actually solve some of the complex problems and, take on strategic initiatives. And this requires, pat on the back.
Yep. All valid points, Ashpal. But what I'm sorry for I wasn't clear. I want to hear in what different way can you start this presentation instead of just jumping directly into the topic, just to get the attention of the audience. And I'll give you hints. You can use food. You can use the setup of your meeting room as a hook statement. You can use the reaction of the audience as a hook statement.
Can say maybe 2023 has been an extraordinary year with so many accomplishments.
You can talk about your personal accomplishments also, right? People rarely talk about it in their meetings. 2023, the year 2023 was not only great on a professional front for us, but I'm sure a lot of us have also accomplished so much personally. We have come far in this year. We have seen the growth in the individuals. That's one way. The other way could be that it feels nostalgic to be in this meeting room. And I think gone are the days when tucked in that corner was a stack of Domino's pizza and Coke bottles. Management, please do something about it. So when you are in these corporate presentations, guys, it becomes very monotonous. Slide after slide, presentation after presentation, facts, figures, bars, charts, graphs. As an audience, it becomes too heavy. And be honest, there's nobody over here that does not say, yaar, 1 घंटे का town hall. Yaar, 2 घंटे का meeting है, पकाएंगे. Everybody says that, even I do it. So do something to make your opening interesting. Think differently. Go with a mindset ki nahi, meri presentation hai, so I have to keep this audience entertained. See how you can do things differently. And prepare. Don't just prepare it the night before. That won't work. We start thinking about presentations about 15 to 23 days before. We have obviously first is the content. And once the content is finalized, all the focus is on how to present it interestingly. Okay. And if somebody else is asking you to present something, there is a question that people nowadays ask a lot. What is the story that you want us to tell? So ask that question. In any presentation, if your manager or somebody from senior leadership is asking you to present something, ask them, what is the story you want us to tell? That itself will give you an idea of how the flow should be, what the content should be, what the focus should be. Okay. I know we are at 1:06. I just tried to twist the spelling of story a bit to leave you with few keywords that I feel are really helpful when it comes to storytelling. Try to have an element of surprise somewhere. It can be the beginning, it can be in the middle. As I said, there is something known as a false start also, where people say a statement and then they say, no, nothing like that happened. I was just kidding. So that's a false start to hook your audience. See if there can be a twist in your story, if it can be thought-provoking. But maintain the originality, the authenticity of whatever you are telling is very important to maintain. Whatever you use, be it the content, be it the images, the graphics, everything should be relevant to what you're talking about. And often people overlook the images. They'll just Google, they'll put an image. Just because it looks very distinct, it looks very unique, But it happened in one of the presentations that the audience asked, why do you have that image there? And the presenter was caught off guard. And the answer was, I just like that image. Always make sure that the images that you have in your presentation have a logical connection to what you're talking about. And the third, the last E, second last E, try to keep your audience entertained, use humor, use instances from your personal life, from your professional life. And that is how you will also be able to keep them engage them, have questions, keep the session interactive. There's no harm in doing that. People nowadays, they love interactive sessions to break the monotony. Leaving you with two references. I will share this with Shanko and he can further share it on your group. This blog has very useful information on different types of storytelling techniques. I was talking about false start, right? There is also they call it a Momo myth, where you do it in your speeches, right? You start it off, you create suspense, the plot gets built, you reach a plateau state, and then you descend. That is where the climax comes. So many techniques of doing storytelling, but obviously you have to take a call depending upon the topic, that which one suits you. Analyst Academy, that's also a YouTube channel that gives a lot of information on storytelling in business, in corporate world. They have talked about the different types of frameworks. SCQA is just one of them that I have mentioned. But if you get a chance, do check out this channel. Are there any questions, guys, before I wrap it up?
Supriya, I have one question.
Yeah.
Like you said in the storytelling, it should be entertaining, right? So let's say in the previous slide, you have the 2023 accomplishment where we are not awarding anyone actually. So there are no awards and already everyone in the room would be surprised or may not be happy. And how can we entertain at the time? So it may be backfire, right?
You're saying that the morale of the team is down.
Yeah.
And you have to present. So they're different. See, food always does wonders. That is what my personal experience is. And I think everybody would agree. And apart from that, as a put some thought into what can make your team motivated. I've created bookmarks for my teams with some really nice personal quotes for each one of them. That acts as an element of surprise. Your team never expects you to give something which is personalized. Give a hand as simple as, guys, I know that we pushed a lot this year, but unfortunately, we were not recognized at a bigger forum. But that doesn't mean that I don't value what each one of you did for me, for this team, for this project. And you can give away small thank you cards. So see, entertainment does not always mean that you have to be humorous, you have to crack jokes in the presentation. Entertaining is just not creating that element, not bringing that element of boredom in your presentation. Okay. Many people even show videos in their presentations, but many companies have restrictions on that. So if your company does not have it, you can use that as a channel. Open up with an ice-breaking session. That's the best entertaining activity that you can do. Have some activity in your internal team to break the ice. And there are tons of funny activities, humorous, engaging activities that you can Google. There's so much of information present out there. It's all about breaking that ice, I believe. And it's all about bringing people out of that, work mode. Let your 1 hour be an hour of relaxation. And if you're in a team meeting, we've played music and jazz in the team meeting. And people now love to come to our team meetings because they know something will be different in this. We should go. Right? So brainstorm amongst yourselves, amongst your peers, with Google, that how can you make your meetings more interesting, entertaining, interactive. You'll get tons of information. Hope that's helpful. Shanko, you have a question or you are
Yeah,
alerting me on the time?
no.
I see the red card.
Yeah, no, I'm just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Now, like many of us are working in the MNC where we have either our colleagues or the clients spread across the world,
Mhm.
right? So different countries or different continents have their own culture or have their, like the way of things. Now, the example which you give can be more relatable when I'm speaking with someone whom I closely know, or maybe, if I consider from the Indian subcontinent, where people know each other, or the type of language or the type of mindset which we have are very pretty much common, right? But however, if we go for any other continent, so how do you think these things can be applied, especially if there is a client visit, maybe it can be a physical meeting, or it can be a virtual session as well.
So, and thank you for bringing that point, Shanko. I think it's very important to be aware of the culture of people who are not from your region, to make sure that you don't offend them with, any of the activities or any of the statements that you said. But having said that, I believe it's absolutely okay to play it safe. And I believe your comment was more on the entertaining part, is it? It was on the entertaining.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So, and we have US stakeholders, right? And we have seen this, that they're quite open-minded and they don't mind us opening and even they are doing it nowadays. They are opening up presentations by giving a little flair of their own personal life. They talk about themselves, they talk about their hobbies, they talk about their family, and then they gradually dive into the actual presentation. But it all depends upon, I would say, the comfort level of the presenter. Don't do it because I have asked you to do it. Don't do it because somebody else has asked you to do it. If you are comfortable doing it, only then do it, because only then it will, look genuine. A forced content, a forced delivery does not help to create that connect with the audience, right? And to your point, I would say icebreakers, there are a lot of online icebreakers that people are doing in Zoom meetings. So icebreaker is a very safe way to connect with the audience and to open up on a lighter mode, to energize them, to open a meeting on a lighter mode. So I would suggest, and that works for every region, every country. It's something very common, and I've personally seen that people favor that. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much, Supriya.
No problem. All right. Before I sign off, I really like this line which has been said by Branson Sanderson, that the purpose of a storyteller is not to tell you how to think. Cannot change. You can change a person's thought process, but that is not why we are insisting on storytelling, right? It is all about leaving your audience to think about something that just happened. To leave them with a thought, to leave them with a question, to make them keep coming back to listen to the story that you just created and crafted. That's all I have for you guys. And with that, it's over to Shanko. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Supriya. Let's give a round of applause for that beautiful session. It was really, really splendid, and a lot of inputs which I got now in terms of the corporate presentations. I know it's like a huge ocean, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, which you just shared with us. We're looking forward to more such sessions, Supriya, with you, definitely. So. If so, the stage is open. If anyone has any questions for Supriya, and we'll just take a few minutes.
Yeah, Supriya, actually, I have one question. Like you were actually mentioning the conclusion, right? Like the structure of that presentation. I mean, like ask the, I mean, like probably it's not the summarization portion. Like ask the question. I mean, like audience. I mean, like it's a one way to actually question. I mean, like get the summarization from their side. Like get a summary from their side. Call for their inputs. It maybe depends on the type of your audience or maybe the number
Yes,
of audience,
yes.
right? If it is too many people are there, and then how do we do that?
So it definitely depends upon the type of the audience. Now, if I have my US stakeholders, I'll not ask them to summarize what I just presented, right? So you're saying that if I'm addressing a town hall of 80 plus audience, I cannot ask the audience to summarize. So you have to take a call, guys. Everything is not applicable everywhere. Assess the situation, know the number and the type of audience, and then see if that particular concept will fit well into the situation. So to answer your point, Arun, if I would say if the audience is 30 plus, try to not, and if it is online, because in online it would be, again, it can get a bit chaotic, right? If it's offline, you can handle it. You can create a group of five people. And if I have 6 slides, I can have 6 teams. And if I have 5 slides, yeah. And every team, I can have 5 teams and every team can take up 1 slide. But if you feel this is a huge group and it can become chaotic, play it safe, summarize it yourself towards the end. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Any more questions we have?
I just saw a note from Ashbel about death by PowerPoint. Yes, that is a buzzword today out there. Avoid doing this, guys, because people, I mentioned, right, 2 hours meeting and pakayenge and all of that. So avoid making your slides too text heavy and keep your sessions interactive. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So with that, we are now concluding our meeting. And thank you so much, Supriya. Let's give another round of applause because it was truly engaging. And let's take a few moments to check to have a picture with all of us. If everybody can switch on the video. Okay, Veena, Vishal. Okay, so Vishal is on the move. I know you are very excited about it. I hope you are not going to create a PPT now. Okay, so with a round of 5, I'll just count and I'll take a snapshot. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. So with that, we are now concluding our meeting for today's. And for the MOT, in case you have any feedback or anything, please reach out to our president, Toastmaster Vishal, and we'll be happy to accommodate further feedback on that. And we'd love to do that as well. So with that, let us close our meeting for today. And thank you everyone for joining in. Next week, we will have a contest coming up for the ISC, which is the International Speech Contest. Please do join and see how it goes, right? And so that let's have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you all.
Have a
Bye.
great day,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.
Thank
you.
Supriya.
Thank you.